Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, Blake Ruffino. This is Are You Serious Sports. We hope that you guys are making it a good one. We know that we are as well. Huge show in store for you tonight. Who joins us? LSU starting middle linebacker Mike Jones Jr. joins us. Missed last week. Mike texted me, was like, look, brother, I'm getting ready for the season. We're about to rain down the hellfire on all these teams and these Rudy Poos. All right, he didn't say that. But glad to have Mike Jones Jr. back with us here tonight. Got a lot we need to talk to him. How's his offseason going so far? Is he back in Baton Rouge? What's going on with him? So a lot to talk about with Mike Jones Jr. Something I did today in a very big deep dive, Brian Kelly is more innovative than you think. I'm tired of hearing all the time, Brian Kelly's a pro-style guy offensively. He wants to run the football 3 yards in a cloud of dust. He's Les Miles. Well, if you ever watched the game and you knew what you were talking about, I think last year's Notre Dame offensive team is going to be what we see here, along with some integral things that Mike Denbrock installs. So we'll talk about Brian Kelly and the innovative stuff and what he's doing in analytics to help his team win football games, and maybe why he has, in the last 5 seasons, at least 10 wins or more. So we'll touch on that as well. We'll talk on some recruiting. Guys, here soon, we'll be having some big news soon, maybe in about the middle of June. So AYS is going to be taking a very big turn within the next 6 months. We told you a lot about the things that we've done. We've started gradually do it. Pooh Bear, for an example, is with us producing tonight. We'll be doing the website and stuff like that. We'll be doing a lot of things for premium content and things like that. So be on the lookout. We'll be doing that about 14 to 15 to maybe even 20 days. So be on the lookout for that. So I'm looking forward to this recruiting update. Talked to a lot of high school coaches today. Was really good to hear and to talk to them and what LSU's been doing in recruiting and how well they've been doing. So we'll do a recruiting update. And it's finally, The Rock has come back. Wait, that's not it. But finally, we do have some baseball. Finally. Pooh Bear is going to be giving us the updates throughout the night. So Tennessee and Vandy's underway. So we'll see. LSU probably around, I guess, in another hour and a half. We'll be doing the Believe in Saints podcast too right after this. So we have a lot to talk about. So we'll be doing the shows and then pre-gaming the whole time, and then we'll be doing the Believe in Saints podcast. But this game's moving by pretty quickly. 6-0 Tennessee in the top of the fourth, says Pooh Bear. So yeah. Daniel Williams says, baseball, ain't it football season? No, Daniel, it's not. You know, look, man, we gotta talk about it too with all of our listeners, brother. All of our listeners. They most people outside of you do love some baseball. Crying Belly earlier in the comments said he wanted me to be his sugar daddy. Brother, you better look elsewhere because I don't fly like that. But he says, Blake, you had that Mexican pizza yet? I have had the Mexican pizza before. But I am not sitting outside of a Taco Bell waiting for a Mexican pizza. Let me tell you what, like, we're doing like the Foodie Friday thing tomorrow. Like we did the food thing last week at Frankie's hot dog place, the pulled pork hot dog. Tomorrow, I think I'm going to Our Moms in Hammond. So shout out to Our Moms. But yeah, I'd rather go do something like that. I'm not sitting in the line for processed meat and Taco Bell. Pause. Gotta be careful when you start talking about processed meat. Pooh Bear says, Daniel, don't get ahead, HEAD, of us. It ain't fun. Daniel, don't put that on me. Pooh Bear's the one talking that about you. I mean, look. But he ain't lying. See, sometimes when your producer says something, but if he's not lying, what do you say? Yeah. Nurse Court says, hashtag foodie pajamas. and says, "Oh, Ryan, I say 99 point." Let me do this because she be macking on Ryan. Ryan, I say 99.9% of the stuff everyone's already thinking. And Ryan's gonna come back and say like, he's gonna say like, "Yeah, nurse court." See, man, AYS is just putting lovers together. That's all that this is. I know one thing, Ryan and Court, if y'all go on a date, this courtesy of AYS. I want a wedding invite. Brian Kelly the Goat on YouTube says anything on the Jaden Rashada kid. We'll talk about that in the recruiting update, and we'll talk some quarterbacks as well. James Washington, James from Twitter Spaces says processed meat and cream pies. Pause. Get your mind out of the gutter, James. I saw what spaces you were in earlier. We're going to talk about it tonight. James and y'all be in them weird spaces. Clap, clap, duck, goose, and stuff like that. Like, what is clap, 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 goose? I mean, the things y'all be entertaining. Dylan Smith says, I'm digging that shirt. Like, yeah, y'all like the Saints fit? My wife said I just look like I walked out the club. You know what I mean? What up, little mom? Don't let it get twisted. I use T-Pain lyrics on my wife to get her. I went full T-Pain. I'm in love with a stripper. Not that one. She wasn't a stripper. I better watch myself. I'm going to get stabbed in the neck. I better watch myself. No, I can't say what I told her. Jeff Fudd says waiting on LSU baseball to finally is like that Wilson Pickett song in the midnight hour. True. Very true. Nurse Court says congratulations, Blake, on your big stuff, buddy. Thank you. We will be doing a lot of stuff, and what we're trying to launch in January of next year. It's going to be massive. So we're gearing everything up. Everything. Coming to plan so far. Brian Kelly to go again on YouTube says hashtag ask Blake you asked about the quarterback. We'll talk on it. Danny Krantz. Man, we got infiltrators from Florida, y'all. I wear jorts. I drank a mill a lot. But Danny's cool people. Leisure Creation says, we're back. So true, man. So true. We are. Crying says, big pressure got me. Well, y'all be saying some crazy stuff. Chris English says, Blake about to get punched on live stream. I am. Let me tell you something about Italian women before we get started here. Mike Jones Jr. joining us in about 20 minutes. Let me tell you something about Italian women. Everything you see in the movies is true. And with that being said, rest in peace to Ray Liotta. I think that's how you say his last name. The guy from Goodfellas. Italian women are crazy. They will stab you. They will cut you. They will hit you over the head with a curling iron. I mean, they'll put poison in your meatballs. All right. Tyson says, "Hey Blake, how you doing today? Love your show. Who do you think will be the quarterback for the Tigers?" We'll open up with that one. I like that question. We'll open up with that one when we come back. That's for sure. All right, let's pay some bills around this thing. Everybody, do us a favor. Super chats are open. Do us a favor by hitting the like and share. So many of you are listening to us on Facebook. Hit that like, hit the share to your Facebook groups, share to your social media pages. We greatly, greatly appreciate it. If you're listening to us on YouTube, hit that like button and that subscribe button. So many of you are still not yet subscribed. We want to get to 5,000 at least before the football season. So we're about 1,000 away. Not too far. I do feel a giveaway coming, though. Pooh, I'm trying to give out $500 for people who subscribe to YouTube. I want 10. We tried to do this last month, and people, I guess, were a little hazy, whatever. Maybe they were taking some Gramco. Maybe they were a little fuzzy. You know, people be taking that Granco, man. They become mute. They become mutes. The Gramco Mutes. That's their mascot name, by the way. The Mutes. So yeah, we're gonna be doing that. We're gonna be so we got about 4 or 5 days until the beginning of the next month, and on June the 1st, we're gonna be announcing the $500 giveaway. What you got to do for it? We're trying to give away money. I promise you. Normal guy says hello. Pooh Bear says $500 equals AYS stimulus. I mean, you know, I don't want to get political. Like I want to say, call me Joe Biden, you know, but then so many bad things comes from it. If you say it's like Trump or Biden, like I don't want nothing to do with that. I want nothing to do with your politics. Nothing. Rob Boudreaux sends us $9.99 via super chat on YouTube. Thank you so much, Rob. We greatly, greatly appreciate it. All right, Pooh, let's pay some bills around this thing. Let's talk about our good friends over at GM Varno & Sons and Betonline.ag. Guys, we'll be back in about a minute and a half. Stay tuned with us, Mike Jones Jr., in about 15 minutes. Our partners over at BetOnline continue to be the #1 source for all of your betting needs and sports info. Find all the latest sports developments, including updated odds on the NBA playoffs, fights, and even next season's futures. And don't forget that the MLB is back as well. Who are you picking to win the World Series? BetOnline is your continued source for all of your sports wagering needs, including live betting and your favorite Vegas casino and poker games. It's easy to get started, so head on over to their website. Use betonline.ag. Use that promo code BELIEVE. That's BLEAV. That's BLEAV to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. That's betonline.ag. Betonline.ag. With over 65 years of experience, nobody is better equipped to service in your vehicle than GM Varno & Sons. RV repair, big rig overhauls, motorhome chassis, routine maintenance, tire rotations, tire sales. No job is too big or too small over at GM. If you break down the side of the road in the greater Baton Rouge area, they will come and get you. And the best thing about that is that they can come and get you, and then they can bring your vehicle back to their shop and start the repairs right then. Again, GM Varno & Sons. Go see them over at 2500 Fuller Boulevard. Give them a call at 225-664-9992. 225-664-9992. Tell me your good friend Blake Ruffino sent you on by. Crying Belly said, oh, that's not crying. That's not crying. He says, don't sleep on that Mexican pizza, Ryan. Stop, bro. Like, go eat you a steak. You know what I'm saying? Like, go eat you a steak or something. Like, get away from the Mexican pizza. Get away from that processed meat. No, there's nothing good when people put processed meat in their mouth. Nothing good can... Nothing good comes when you stick processed meat in your mouth. All right. Y'all stop that. Kim says, I finally called it Spaces last night. That was fun. Yeah. Chris Blair, the voice of LSU Tigers, was in there. Scarborough was in there. Myself, the Golden Boot podcast. A lot of Tiger fans were in there. It was very fun. Shout out to Chris Blair. I sent him I shot him a text or thanking him for being in there. That was fun, man. It's very, very fun. Normal guy. We'll get to this, and I want to get back up to the earlier comment, but it says, can we get a closer eye on Christian Gray? So I'll start off that. I'll talk about Christian Gray in this recruiting update. So if you don't know who Christian Gray is a cornerback, 6 foot, 175 pounds, 180 pounds from DeSmet or St. Louis, Missouri. His head coach in high school was Robert Steeples, the corners coach for LSU. Guys, let me say this about corners, and I think it's pretty obvious. Like, I hear a lot of you talking about Jordan Matthews. I think Jordan Matthews can play, man. I'm not saying he can't. I think Curly Reed from Lake Charles can play. I'm not saying he can't. But there's something going on with the staff because they believe they're going out a lot of places nationally and recruiting DBs, especially corner. They've offered more corners in the last couple of weeks that I can even count at the current moment. I think that should tell you what they're thinking. I think that they know that cornerback is an issue for them, big issue for them, because, guys, quite honestly, next season you're going to have a whole new DB room outside of possibly Mekhi Gardner, at least from a starter's perspective. So LSU is trying their hardest, very hard, very, very, very hard to go out nationally and get corners. Now, do I think that Robert Steeples gets in this mix because he was the high school coach that led Christian Gray and his team to a high school state title, number 7 in the country nationally? Yeah, I think that we're in there. I think Notre Dame's in there. I think Notre Dame has a good chance of pulling Christian Gray. But I think LSU does as well. Is a top 100, somewhere up in there, top 100 player in the nation. Shout out to Robert Steeples. I want to go up to this. Pooh, I'm going to get ripped alive tonight. But we haven't really talked about quarterbacks on the show within people think I talk about quarterbacks all day long on the show, and I don't. I legitimately don't. But I forget who asked the question, and you can fire in your questions. It is Thursday, #AskBlake. But Tyson asked, who do you think is going to be the quarterback for the Tigers next year? Guys, I got to be quite honest. I have no idea. I legitimately have no idea who's going to be the quarterback for next season. But let me transition off of that. And watching Brian Kelly in the offense from a season ago at Notre Dame, I was kind of blown away with a couple of things. If you go watch that Florida State game in that opening series, guys, I don't know how to – please just go watch that opening series for Notre Dame. I don't know how to really say this other than – because when I say it, if a Notre Dame fan hears it, they're going to try to eat me alive. Guys, they are so bad at the skill positions. They are so average. Jack Cohn, their quarterback from a season ago, I thought he was better than some people said that he was. In my personal opinion, I thought he was a really solid college quarterback. Guys, they have a tight end, and that was it. I forget the tight end, the kid's name. That's all that they had. Now, you can talk about their running game. They had a running back, but, guys, he ran a 4.8 740 in the combine. It's not like you had John Emery, who's an explosion guy. It's not like he had Amari Goodwin. I think Brian Kelly's more innovative than people give him credit for. When we saw Brian Kelly before he came at LSU, we thought of a tough-nosed Irish guy that coaches Notre Dame, who wants to go under center, a very pro-style guy. Guys, I'm watching film of Brian Kelly and what he does offensively, and let's call it what it is. I know Tommy Rees was the quarterback's coach, and the offensive coordinator. None of those plays and none of those systems and nothing that the quarterbacks are doing, none of it is without Brian Kelly's blessing. Going for it multiple times on 4th down. Your defense starts struggling in the second half. You got to make play calls to win the football game. And, guys, you see Brian Kelly there with a little small sheet assisting. I think that this man, who has now used more of analytics of going forward on 4th down, is, I don't want to say the complete opposite of who we thought he was, but I'm starting to think that he is the complete opposite of who we thought he was. Right? Like, this guy that painted the picture, this guy that everybody wanted to paint the picture to me about who he was and who he is, that's not right. Now, you asked who's going to be the quarterback. I know people are going to throw in here for Miles Brennan. Guys, for me, I will be happy, and this is not a shot at Miles Brennan. I will be happy the day that he's no longer here. I said it. I said what a lot of you were thinking. I wish him nothing but success. I hope he comes out here next year, if he is the starter, and throws for 40 touchdowns, because I don't see the focus for him this offseason. I legitimately don't see the focus for him this offseason. I don't think it's his job to lose, as somebody in the comments said. Quite honestly, it's between Garrett Nussmeier that we know of right now, between Garrett and between Jaden. I thought Miles did some good things in the spring game. He doesn't seem locked into me. We can brush off, and you can take my words and you could throw them down the trash. You can say Blake's not doing nothing but spitting bullshit. Guys, tell me what he's doing this offseason that's worth a damn. Somebody light a fire under him. There is not. Look, I'm going to take some flack for this one too. There's not a quarterback, maybe in the SEC besides Bryce Young. Hear me out here. That is a better arm talent than Miles Brennan. I thought he looked a little labored in the spring game. Maybe that reduces a little bit. A focused Miles Brennan would light the stat sheet up. I don't know if this is the innovative nature and the things that Brian Kelly wants to do. He wants a guy that can move. If you take the time to go out there and watch the film instead of believing what you think was going on. Guys, it's easy to believe what you think was going on in the narrative that you were told to be the truth. The Brian Kelly that I saw from a season ago is not when his offensive line was down. It's not the Brian Kelly that you believe or think. Guys, there was no way in God's green heaven that he was getting Kayshon Boutte to South Bend, Indiana. He just wasn't. He had to have. Here's a key thing for recruiting, too. He had to evaluate better talent to get them to Notre Dame. I got to be honest. Until I see Brian Kelly doing something wrong, I'm going to trust his evaluation more than yours. If they're offering a kid from Texas, a safety from Texas, when there's a safety inside the state of Louisiana, Kyle Hamilton. Now, you got to get the kids from Louisiana. I'm not saying you don't. But they're seeing something that I clearly don't see. Miles has got to get out there, and Miles has to getting back to this Miles thing, Miles has to go back in here, and he's got to do some good things. Stop worrying about Toledo Bend. Stop worrying about all these little small things because, look, man, I just don't – I don't see it. I don't see it. I want to give a quick shout-out to Derek Gordon, graduate of Southeastern Louisiana this week. Yeah. Yeah. Get that education, my brother. Get that education. I love it. I love it. But Dylan says this, Miles has been more of a headache than a solution. I feel that way. Rico Delgado says reports are that Miles was in Toledo Bend wearing Crocs. First off, dog. First off, if he's wearing Crocs, he's a potential All-American. You mean flip-flops? But had all the terrain straps engaged. Look, bro. Let me show y'all something. Hey, Rico, don't ever talk about Crocs, dog. The lemon pepper steppers. Don't ever disrespect Crocs again. Not in this chat. Not in this chat. Don't do it. Don't do it. Jeff Futch says it's Jane Daniels, in my opinion. Guys, it may be. It may be. You know what's funny? You know what's funny is we had on Stacy Blackwood this week, who covers Alabama. I've been telling you guys about Jalen Milroe, their quarterback. Stay with me. You have a Heisman Trophy winner, and you got people in Alabama reporting that Jalen Milroe is so damn explosive with his legs. You're going to have to find ways to get him the ball, even though Bryce Young's your starting quarterback. It's a lot like Jane Daniels, man. You're going to have to find a way. I don't know who it's going to be. But I saw Brian Kelly light it up a season ago. I got people. Oh, poo. We already got people, man. Larry Jenkins. Well, Blake, you don't know shit about Miles Brennan, you piece of shit. That's the text. Not really. Not really. They mad at me, boy. They mad at me. Jaden's going to play, man. Jaden's going to play. Ryan Thibodeau says, hashtag Crocs NIL endorsement coming. Yeah, y'all hit up Crocs for your boy. I'll take the NIL deal. I want Crocs as a sponsor. Maybe that's something we need to do, Pooh. We need to reach out to Crocs. Casey Thibodeau says he bought a truck today. Saw it on Facebook. He didn't buy anything. He didn't buy anything. That man didn't buy anything. Nurse Court since $9.99 via Super Chat. All right, here we go. Here we go. The love connection. Crying and Ryan's Sugar Mama's search fund. Hashtag best of luck with that. Oh, dog. She roasting, y'all. Access Denied. Y'all ain't got no game, dog. Ryan, you better come up in here. You better start sweet talking. Hey, babe. You know when men start licking them lips, they see a girl and they start rubbing their hands like this. Ooh. Y'all better get on it. Dylan Smith says Bass Pro Shop's got a boat with his name on it whenever he finally decides to be done. Y'all think I'm trashing the kid? Is facts trashing somebody? Because last year y'all told me the facts about Orgeron that it was Blake. It's just facts. It's just facts, Blake. Martin says Daniels was not impressive at all in the spring game, in my opinion. Yeah, we'll see. Again, guys, I'm not saying that he's going to be the starter. I literally in this chat or this episode tonight said 4 times I have no idea who the quarterback's going to be, but y'all hear what you want to hear. Mikey says, Blake, I don't think Jaden transferred his last season to sit the bench. I agree with you, but guys, I have no idea. I'm not coming here acting like I know. I mean, the truth is the truth. You know who I want to start at quarterback? He played in high school. Well, look, when Mike gets here, I think Pooh just advised me we got him. He's in the building. All I know is since he's in the building, this is what I know. You better get your ass ready, Mike Jones. We got games to win. You know what? I'm going to be in the stands. Mike Jones is going to do his pro day at quarterback, and I'm going to look back. It's going to be like the movie Friday Night Lights. I'm going to look at the GMs, Ravens, Saints, Pittsburgh. Mike Tomlin's going to be in the building. I'll be like, oh, and he can pass. Oh, God, so great. Lord, forgive me on this Thursday. It's been a long week, guys. It's been a long week. Speaking of Mike Jones, let's do this. Let's go ahead and do it. Let's pay some bills. Let's talk about our sponsors, the Drake Williams Law Firm, drakewilliamslawfirm.com. Guys, they sponsor this segment with Mike Jones every single week. Go check them out. Free consultations. They can do it all. Real estate, titles, successions, everything. Give them a call today. We'll do it. We'll talk about them for about 45 seconds. We'll come back with Mike Jones. Pooh, fire that in there right quick. The comment before that one. Jeff Futch says Mike Jones going to be in the backfield as much as the other quarterbacks regardless. True. See, Mike? See? I love it. All right, let's pay these bills. Let's talk about our good friends over the Drake Williams Law Firm. Guys, we'll be back in right about a minute. Mike Jones right ahead. By the Drake Williams Law Firm, drakewilliamslawfirm.com. Whether you've been injured in an accident, you're preparing for a future with your estate planning, you're getting ready to close in on a real estate deal, or you're about to welcome a new addition through adoption into your family, or you're facing criminal charges, you need very experienced attorneys, and that is what the Drake Williams Law Firm will be able to do for you in navigating the legal system. The door to their cozy office in historic downtown Ponchatoula has been open since 1981. They have helped thousands and thousands of Louisiana families and individuals win cases, close on real estate deals, and regain that peace of mind. Their lawyers over at the Drake Williams Law Firm, Ernie Drake III, Ryan J. Williams, and Summer Vignair, are very determined, compassionate, and dedicated to their craft. It's the Drake Williams Law Firm, drakewilliamslawfirm.com. Give them a call today at 985-386-7600. Tell them your good friend Blake Ruffino at AYS sent you on by. You know how long, Mike, listen to me. You do know when we don't have you for a week, I get depressed. Let me tell you why. Because I want to hit this. And I can't. Like, I'm throwing ways out there. So, like, Monday, okay? We were talking about defense. We're talking about your coach, your linebackers coach, Matt House. Mm-hmm. We're talking about linebackers. And I was like, wait, you know, like, I'm finding ways to hit the button. Yeah. But you're here, and I love it. First off, my brother, how are you? How are things going? You're looking great, man. How's everything coming from your way?
Man, everything's good. Been enjoying this little break from school and football, clearing my mind, getting my body ready to reset and get into this summer.
Well, Mike, look, I gotta ask you: did you get a haircut for summer because it's so hot outside? Like, you did. So when Mike Jones goes to the barbershop, you're like, "Hey, man, boosie fade on the sides, and I want the top to stay." What is when Mike Jones goes to the barbershop? What does Mike Jones say to the barber?
This is the actual interesting thing. My barber here, and he actually just moved away like 2 weeks ago. I never told him what I want cut. I might say like to like point my sideburns and like maybe not go as thin on my mustache, but other than that, since the first time I met him, I never even told him what I wanted as a cut. He just got me right, and I don't even say nothing. I'll just say what's up, and we just chat it up. I never had to tell him what type of cut I want.
So listen, okay. I went to the first time I went to a real barbershop,
Yeah.
in the hood. I'm going in there, the teammates, okay? So I get lined up. I'm looking fresh. Prom's right around the corner. Okay. I'm like fresh and so clean. All right. So we get done with the haircut, and they put the alcohol in the back of my neck.
Yeah.
All my teammates stood up and they're like, they were placing bets in the back if Blake was going to cry when the alcohol hit my neck.
No.
I didn't cry, but I got to tell you, I wanted to. Man, that stuff be hurting. But now you get used to it. You know it's coming. I'm going to get a line tomorrow. That's why I see it, and so shout out to Big Sib. Shout out to the alcohol. But, man, somebody could have warned me, though, man. I mean, that stuff be hurting.
They ain't warned you. That's wrong.
No, they didn't prepare me, Mike. They didn't prepare me. Some BS, man. Some BS, but I love it. Look, Mike, I don't know how else to ask it, but we're 100 days away. As one thing life has taught me is that before you know it, we're going to blink, and it's going to be here. Today you talked about how hard you were working, some things that you were doing. Mike, what are you doing? I know you're talking about the offseason, getting ready to go. I know a lot of the freshmen are reporting. What are you doing, and how are things going?
Yeah, man. Right now, man, it's just kind of about like building your own routine since you're not necessarily with the strength coaches right now. We start up next Monday or next week. And man, I've just been trying to get it in everywhere I can. I have learned at this age that you do have to get your rest. I'm not the young crazy guy who could go out there on the field without warming up at all and do it anymore. But just working smarter. I find time to make sure I lift every day. A lot of conditioning, a lot of running, getting ready for Indy and all this stuff with Coach House, because I know he's gonna run the mess out of us. So I've been big on the running. I like approach the running as you got to try to run until you're about to throw up because you're gonna Coach
House. Look, we talked about this before, but Coach House just like looks mad. Like he looks like he's scheming. Like like the who was the songs like "Stay Scheming." Like I see him on these recruiting visits. He's going elsewhere, and he's like, I don't trust a coach that doesn't smile with his teeth. Like I mean, like if they put defensive coordinator, like if there's a picture of defensive coordinator in the dictionary, wouldn't Coach Matt House's like face be the face? I mean, right?
Absolutely. Like this guy's got something going on. He's just not telling us.
I'm gonna send Mike Jones Jr. on a damn blitz. That's how I envision him like scheming stuff up. Mike, we asked this to Chris Hilton. I was an offensive guy. I grew up playing offense, and that's just the side of the ball that I know the best. How much do you go through the playbook and install, right? Like I know that y'all installed some stuff, and not to give anything away, but how much are you watching film and install and stuff like that? Because look, it's a new coaching staff. There's probably a lot that you want to install, but look, defenses can be a little bit different. I mean, look, there's only so many coverages you can run, many things you can do. How much in this offseason do you get in the playbook to figure things out of what Coach House wants?
I I would say, there's different levels to it. I kind of feels like how like in tune you are with the defense that you're running. I would say like right now, I haven't really been too much into my film study, but I actually met with Coach House the other day, and he like gave me the plan of like how we're gonna watch film throughout the summer. And so I'm just going, whenever I see we're going to watch film, I'll make sure I watch film before that, just so I can be ready. It's just kind of like you just want to keep a refresher. You don't want to, forget all the little details and things like that. I keep all my notes that I take during the spring. And so I've already started looking over my notes and things like that. But, just to stay sharp, not forget the little things. I feel like it's important to at least check it out a couple times a week. And just learn, keep checking out more and more stuff, as you continue to go out throughout the summer.
So you study before you go in there with Matt House to study, because look, that's some Tom Brady mentality type stuff there you got going on there, Mike Jones.
He asked that question, what this is. Mike Jones gonna know his answer. I promise you, I won't know mine. I gotta stay ready.
Hey, but look, Mike, I mean, that's great to hear, man. Yeah. I mean, like, that's great to hear. Let me ask you though, because when people say stuff like that, okay, it normally comes because I don't want to say you got your butt chewed, or anything, but normally it's because it's like, hey man, something happened, and that incident prepared you for this. Is there like a backstory to why you do that? Like, look, man. I know it's happened to me on the football field, but it was that something like that happened that wanted to get you that prepared, or was it just Clemson national championships? I mean, what was it?
Well, personally for me, I don't know why, man, when coaches get to asking questions in meetings, I automatically get nervous. And I'm like, oh wait, if he asks this, I don't know this answer. I'm like, so I'm already pretty anxious about it. But there's definitely been multiple times in my time at Clemson with Coach V where, I might have been a freshman, and I got Isaiah in front of me. He's not going to ask me anything. Of course not. And he asked me like the one thing that like, how am I supposed to know this? And so it's been multiple situations like that. And so now I'm like, I would rather just take a little extra time to get caught slipping. And I've had to learn. It's just multiple times for me to learn. And so now I'm just like, I don't even have to deal with the embarrassment of not knowing the simple stuff anymore. So I'm gonna just make sure I know it all.
You want to hear very, very quickly. I argued with my offensive line coach in a meeting in front of all the players before. Ooh. Because he told me that I was supposed to go and chip, and we're supposed to go to the backer.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I'm not. And he goes, yes, you are. And I'm like, oh, no, I'm not. So we're about 5 minutes in here, and I learned after running a lot.
Ooh.
You don't argue. So we did it in practice. Okay. Chip, go, get up to the second level linebacker. Our head coach chewed me out. I wasn't supposed to do that. So I'm just sitting there like this. Yeah. I never ran at Southeastern ever again. So I got to admit, I was right, but I still ran. But I never argued again. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You
have to learn just it's not even worth it.
No, and look, man, I mean, you know how Italians are. We watch too many Rocky Balboa movies. Like we think that we could just, clap back and think nothing bad's going to happen to us. But nevertheless, Mike Jones, LSU starting middle linebacker, is our guest. Fire inside your questions. One from Lamar Williams. Big pressure is in the building. He says, hashtag Ask Mike, Ford, Dodge, or Chevy?
If I had to choose, like one thing I want, when I go to the league and make a lot of money, I do want a big souped up truck. I'm from Tennessee and I might not be the countryest, but I need to have one just in the garage. And so I need me the big Ford F-150 raised up with the big tires and all the speakers, all that.
What? I feel like I'm listening to the Stone Cold. What?
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's the vibe. That's one thing I for sure need. So I'm gonna go forward on that one.
Okay, I dig it. I envision you with like some cowboy Garth Brooks jeans with some cowboy boots, getting out at mini camp like your Vince Wilfork, like You know, like I want to see Mike Jones get out of spring training with some cowboy boots. I like that though. I like that a lot.
It's a nice little switch up.
Well, look, man, people always want the fast cars and all this kind of stuff. It's nothing better than a nice truck, man.
Yeah.
Nothing better than a nice truck.
Just like seeing all the cars that are lower on the road, I'm like, I could run over you right now. Not like I don't be thinking that, but
you be playing too much Warzone, dog. You gotta calm down. Relax, bro. It's not that serious. Come on, then. Come on. All right, another one. Chance Babin says, #Ask Mike, have you met any of the new true freshmen that just arrived? Any thoughts on them?
Man, I've seen a lot of these guys in the weight room and on the turf and the indoor, these past few days. And, it's a lot of guys, and it takes me a little second to learn some names, but just seeing sorry about that. Just seeing the guys,
Mike, your audio. Hold on, we're gonna get Mike Jones back in just a second. Maybe it was Coach Matt House watching the show and he started calling Mike Jones. Maybe he was calling Mike Jones like, I'm listening to the podcast right now. Get to the film room. I hope he didn't get Mike in trouble. Look, man, I hope it's not Coach Matt House. I told you, the man be spooky. Following the brother on Twitter, like he watching. I know he is. All right. But anyway, you talking about names? This was the last week that we heard.
But yeah, man, I think it just speaks out to the mindset going behind all these guys we brought in. Man, they're they ready to go, man. These guys come in ready to come into college, man, trying to compete. And find time to get on the field early. You could tell when guys come in and they're already out doing the extra, doing the things that's not necessarily what you're told to do. I think that speaks a lot of volume into the guys they brought in and the character of those guys, man. So I'm excited to see these guys, see how they grow up throughout the summer, and see if any guys can come contribute when it's time to start playing.
Yeah, I mean, look, you got guys like Harold Perkins coming in. I mean, you got a lot of Sevyn Banks from Ohio State just came in. But let me tell you something. Chad Briscoe says, Blake, he will I will run for Mike. Your ass is grass. You in so much trouble, dog. If you need me to run, it ain't happening. There's a reason I played at 292 my whole life. You're in so much trouble if that's the truth. All right, last one, Mike. We won't keep you long tonight. We know that you guys got a lot going on with everything about to start. But Brandon Reese. So we asked Chris the other night.
You don't even got to say this one for me to know this answer.
Okay, all right. Who is
Jeray Jenkins? Jeray Jenkins might be one person who I've never heard shut up in practice.
Okay, what does Jeray be saying then?
Anything, everything. He just be talking.
All right. Do you say anything back to him, and can you share any of y'all's conversations on the field or not?
It's not, I mean, I don't even look at it as talking back to him. It's just if he crossed my path, while we're in practice, maybe he's jogging back after a play, I might just push him or shove him for no reason. If I see him, it's just the little funny banter, just push him in the back of the helmet, just jokey stuff like that. But he is constantly talking, and I have to learn to turn that one off and just block him out.
Okay, I gotta tell you, Jeray Jenkins was the absolute last person on planet Earth that I thought that you were gonna say that talked smack.
Really? Okay. He's a funny, jokey guy. Jeray got the jokes, so he's out there running his mouth.
Okay. Since you said that, I could see that a little bit. So it's not like the bad trash talking. It's like the funny, trash talking.
Cool, all right, now, okay.
Well, listen, I was told that Jay Ward last night. We were told that Jay Ward likes to yap a little bit. That's coming from the receiving room. Did Jay Ward be chirping a little bit or
Yeah.
what?
Yes, he's another one. Another one that I have to block out so that I can communicate where I need to communicate.
Hey, Mike, like I envision you, last thing, I envision you. Have you ever watched the movie The Anchorman with Will Ferrell?
Yeah.
So you remember after the fighting scene where they're all sitting there in the newsroom and they're like, Brick, where did you get a grenade? I envision you doing that with a defensive room, like, Jay, where did you come up with that? Like, I mean, how did you know that his mom's, was this, or, like I envision you saying that. I also envision you writing things down for when you get in the NFL. Jay Ward on 5/26/22. That's awesome. That's awesome. All right, Mike, we appreciate it, brother. You're always fantastic. Everything that you do. 100 days, man. 100 days until New Orleans, until Florida State. Well, let me back up. I lied. Is it personal for you to get back in the Superdome because the last time you were there, you was against LSU? So now you're going back. Is it a little bit of a vengeance? Not I wouldn't say vengeance game, but like, is it a milestone for you to get back there and make something right from the last time you were there?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And so actually the year after we lost to LSU, we lost to Ohio State in the first round of playoffs there also.
Oh, okay. My bad.
Yeah. So, I'm 0-2 in there. And I love the stadium, man. I love the way that the Jumbotron wraps around, man. It's probably my favorite stadium I've played in so far. And so, yeah, I'd like to win a game there, especially one with the home team. And so, yeah, that one's definitely going to be a very fun one for me. And I know my mind has been locked in on that one for a minute, and I can't wait to win a game down there.
Listen, I've been in Death Valley a lot, and I look like Garth Brooks type of loud. Death Valley gets loud. There's not a lot of loud though, Mike, than what you experience in the Superdome from LSU perspective. And you've been there. I mean, look,
I'll never forget that game.
Look, man, I'm still deaf in my left ear. That's why I keep having to do this. I mean, my sister-in-law, man, God, dog, she can yell. Like Jamar Chase. I mean, I blame him on her and Jamar. Stop catching passes and touchdowns. God, All right, Mike. We'll see you next week, brother. You have a good weekend. Have a good holiday weekend, too. Stay safe.
Facts. You too, man. Appreciate it.
All right, that's Mike Jones Jr., LSU starting middle linebacker. Fantastic as always, man. Fantastic as always. Pooh Bear sends us the score in. I'm sorry about that one, Pooh. 8-1 Tennessee, top of 6. So that game's moving along a little bit. We'll still be doing the Believe in Saints podcast starting at 8. So we'll be getting out of here a little bit sooner than we normally do. Rico says this guy will be a success post-football in whatever he chooses to do. I completely agree with that, Rico. I 1,000% agree with that. No doubt about it. Normal guy says, is Shelton Sampson a lock for LSU? I don't think anybody's a lock with NIL until they sign. I'm not making anybody a lock anywhere, ever. Not with NIL, man. But do I feel confident in Shelton Sampson coming to LSU? Absolutely. Okay, let's do this. Let's pay some bills very quickly. Pooh Bear will be joining us right after the break. Let's talk about our good friend Carol Falls over at State Farm and our good friends over at Gramco. Guys, you might know my good friend Carol Falls and all the great service that he provides over at State Farm. He is your good neighbor after all. But did you know State Farm has surprisingly great rates as well? Along with the great neighbor service, State Farm agent Carol Falls has surprisingly great rates for everyone inside the state of Louisiana. So call him today at 985-395-4300, 985-395-4300 for all of those surprisingly great rates on auto, home, and life insurance needs. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there, and individual premiums will vary by customer. All applicants subject to the State Farm underwriting requirements. Guys, I've got to talk to you about our good friends over at Gramco. They are the Delta 8 company based out of the state of Florida. They're founded by college football junkies just like you and I am not sure if you're familiar with Delta 8, but you need to be. Gramco is the absolute leader in this field, and they have phenomenal products that I just need to tell you about. First off is the Wake and Bake coffee that is absolutely spectacular. The gummies are as well, as they're the best in the market. So go to thegramco.com right now and use the promo code AYS25. That's thegramco.com, AYS25 promo code to get 25% off of your order. Jump on this fast as it is perfect for holidays, anniversaries, and everyday use. Gramco is hemp-derived and completely legal inside of the state of Louisiana. No medical card is needed, and shipping is very discreet. You must be 21 years older to order. Again, that's thegramco.com. Use that promo code AYS25. We're back. The little man can be in here, Pooh. It doesn't matter.
No, right. It's the big kids.
Oh, okay. James Washington says Mike needs to start a podcast. We're working on that. Lamar Williams says Nurse going to be handing out Cajun Cougar stimulus packages here very soon. Y'all better get off court, man. Stay off the Cougars. Jeff says hashtag Ask Blake is an offensive lineman. How impressed are you with Will Campbell? Very impressed. I mean, you don't do the things he does. I mean, he's just a very talented dude. All right, Pooh, we're not going to stay long because we got to jump over to Believe in Saints. Prediction for tonight. LSU versus Kentucky. I mean, man, it feels like that they're just ready to blow out the gates, man.
LSU 8-2.
Pooh, do you remember the movie The Waterboy?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember when Vicky Valancourt said it's going to be 35-33? That's just how it's going to be.
Yeah.
If the score is 8-2, I swear to God, you're never coming back on here again. 8-2, because that's what the score is going to be. I like that though. I like it.
I think we'll give. I mean, Kentucky's talented. I think they'll score. But I do think that we'll our backs are hot right now. Well, they were hot until they had to sit for a week and a half.
Yeah, 77 days.
All right.
I'm going to say Kentucky wins because
I got you.
Obviously, every time I say LSU's going to win, they don't.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, LSU, Kentucky, give me Kentucky just so LSU win. All right, guys, we'll see you in about 5-10 minutes. We'll be doing the Believe in Saints podcast. Join us. We'll be here on the YouTube channel. Terrence Copper, former Saints wide receiver, will be my co-host. Pooh Bear will be there with us. So stay here, stay on tune. We'll be back in a minute. We'll see y'all soon.
Yeah.
Peace out, Girl Scouts.